Congratulations on your appointment as CEO of De Beers. You're no stranger to the business, of course, having worked with the company for a number of years. How do you feel?
I'm absolutely delighted to be appointed as De Beers Group CEO. The importance and significance of the appointment are not lost on me. And the fact is, it's one of the world's great companies. It's an absolutely iconic company with absolutely tremendous men and women working for it around the world. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be taking over at a time like this. Of course, I'm not a stranger to De Beers. I've been involved at De Beers very heavily for the last 10 years, so I've got to know the industry, the trade, and the key partners across the world. So I'm looking very forward to working more with them going forward. I'd also like to take this opportunity to pay tribute to and thank Philippe. For the last 4 years, De Beers has been led by Philippe through a very difficult time as the world has changed tremendously. He's been at the forefront of change in the industry, and his innovative thinking has been something for us all to learn from. I have learned a tremendous amount from working with Philippe, and I look forward to building on that in the future.
Obviously, you're going to have to spend some time getting your feet under the table and looking across the business. But initially, what do you see as your main priorities?
My main priority is always De Beers' main priority, which is safety. Everything we do, we need to do in the safest possible way, and our employees need to feel safe at work in every environment in which they work. We've done a tremendous job on safety over the last few years, but it's our task to build that even further and get even better at that going forward. The next issue for me is relationships. The relationships are absolutely at the core of everything De Beers does, whether that's relationships with employees, with partners who could be government partners or commercial partners, with site holders, with other customers, and with consumers. So what I'd very much like to do is spend time with each of our core stakeholders, listening to them, engaging with them, hearing their views, hearing their hopes and aspirations, and so that we can work together and make and build a better industry for all.
Bruce, you take over leadership of De Beers at quite an interesting time. 2015 was a bit of a challenging year. 2016 appears to so far be picking up. Lots of opportunities and challenges for you to get your teeth into.
So the sector finds itself in a good position relative to most other sectors. We know that consumer demand for diamonds remains robust. We know that consumers desire diamonds no less than their parents and their parents' parents. We should, on the other hand, never take that for granted. Growth, whilst it should be there, is not automatic. We will need to work harder to deliver more sustainable growth for De Beers and for the industry. So De Beers will need to use its leadership position ever more to deliver and to help build growth for the future. That's going to require De Beers to lead the industry, but it's going to require us to work with all of our key stakeholders together to build a better future for all of us.
You've been around the diamond sector for a number of years in a number of different roles. You've worked in many countries across the diamond pipeline. What impressions have you been given from those experiences, and how do you think you're going to bring them into your new role?
The first thing I think that we should never forget is that there is only one source of value for gem diamonds, and that is consumer desire. We can never take consumer desire for granted. We need, as I said, to build on it, to enhance it. The world is changing fast. We are changing fast. Our customers are changing fast. Together we are going to need to work to find different and innovative ways to continue to enhance and grow consumer desire. Another impression that I have that is really striking from my time at De Beers is the good that diamonds do across the world in relation to building economic growth, building infrastructure, be it roads, schools, hospitals, creating employment, and creating training for people. It's a tremendous thing to be part of an industry that is able to deliver that for communities. Now that happens all across our businesses, but I suppose the place where it's the most striking is Botswana. Having gone from one of the world's poorest countries when we first found the first mine in Botswana, Orapa, it is now a thriving mid-income country. And much of that has been done by the sensible and responsible use of diamond resources. So for me, it's been a privilege to see that grow. It's been a privilege to see Gaborone grow. And it's been a privilege to work in an industry, and I so look forward to this in the future, that actually makes meaningful contributions to people's lives.
You take over, as you've talked about, Bruce, strong fundamentals in De Beers, strong future fundamentals in the sector. Over the course of the next few years, what do you hope to achieve?
Everything we do should be aimed at and driven towards driving further consumer desire. We need to continue to do that in a safe way. We need to continue to do that in a responsible way. We need to continue to work on ethical sourcing. We need to deliver the diamond dream for all of our stakeholders. I think that is at the core of what we need to continue doing. As I say, we need to do that probably differently to what we've done in the past, but fundamentally it's a tantalizing opportunity for De Beers.
In the last few years, the midstream has gone through a number of changes, liquidity issues, some issues around financing. How do you see things evolving in the coming years?
The midstream has gone through tremendous change and a period of tremendous volatility over the last little while. Our site holders are absolutely core stakeholders to De Beers, so it's very important, and it's going to be very important, that we work together with our site holders in order to build a better world for all of us. We need to listen to them as they change their businesses and their businesses evolve, and we need to work with them in building a better future for them and for us, because if we succeed, they succeed.
Partnerships for De Beers are important, as you mentioned, Bruce. They run across the business, whether it's mining in joint ventures or whether it's retailing in joint ventures. How do you see those partnerships in the future?
De Beers is, as I said earlier, very much a business of relationships. It's long-standing relationships with long-standing partners, be they governments, be they commercial partners, and very importantly, be they customers. Now, each of those stakeholders has different aspirations. Each of those aspirations will change over time. The world will change over time. So it's very important that we keep talking to our stakeholders, we keep evolving with them, and that together we build a more exciting future than before.
Bruce, one thing the sector has shown itself in the last few years to be is resilient. It's faced a number of challenges, and as you say, the pace of change now is quickening. I just wonder how quick the pace of change now is going to be and what needs to be done to respond to that. Are these going to be significant changes or more subtle over the next few years?
We need to build on the good work that has been done over the last 4 years. We need to build with our partners on that work. The world will change. Change does come quicker than it used to, and we all need to be agile enough to deal with it. But fundamentally, the consumer desires diamonds as much as ever before. That is the source of value for us, and that is where we must all direct our attentions.